Complete the line. Goes in. And they're off. Guilty of Having Fun is very quick, but it's Odie's Memory Lane who's faster, and these two hook up right away, joined by Darlin Tammy, so there's plenty of pace on in the opening stages. Elsa Dutton is in fourth, followed by Goddess Secret, a length and a half clear of Miss McKinsey. Down on the inside comes Starship Sedona. Very Smart is outside of that pair. Another length back to Kiku Ride on the inside of Miss Practical. Down at the rail comes Starship Sedona. Second last is Dirteen, and at the back of the field, Go Cameo. Around the far turn, Odie's Memory Lane speeding along with a 2.5 length lead. Darlin Tammy is in second. At the rail, Guilty of Having Fun still right in the thick of it, looking for racing room in third. They're followed by Goddess Secret in fourth. Another two back to Elsa Dutton there at the top of the stretch. And Darlin Tammy on the outside is up to take a narrow lead, shifting in a touch on Guilty of Having Fun, who angles out for another crack at her. Odie's Memory Lane is down at the rail. It's Darlin Tammy by 2. Guilty of Having Fun's coming fast. Guilty of Having Fun is best and runs down Darlin Tammy. It's a photo for third. Kiku Ride was right on the inside of Miss Practical. Second. Pays to be Calbred. And they're off in the Echo Eddy. And Style Cat had a very smart beginning. Goes straight to the front, but I'm a Bad Boy. Has early gas and up to take the lead. Our Heisman and Drop 'em in the mix. 4 virtually across the track. Then Triple Diamonds racing on the inside of Bro, who's only 3 lengths off the lead. And Titanic Thompson climbing a bit while wide at the back of the field. Our Heisman, I'm a Bad Boy, dueling to the half-mile pole, with Drop 'em 3 wide coming right after them now, and Style Cat Extreme outside, only a half length off the lead. Triple Diamonds is next. Titanic Thompson is making a bid on the outside. There he goes. He is all the way up now to take the 4th spot. Bro suddenly trails. It's Drop 'em coming to the quarter pole just in front. Style Cat moves to engage. These two go on with it. Our Heisman under pressure, weakening third. Titanic Thompson, Triple Diamonds rallying outside of that pair, top of the stretch. And Style Cat and Drop 'em. Style Cat on the outside, a narrow advantage. Drop 'em trying his best second. 5 lengths clear of Our Heisman in third. Then I'm a Bad Boy. And Style Cat starts to assert his superiority, passing the 16th pole. It's Style Cat and Juan Hernandez. Style Cat wins the Echo Eddy. Drop 'em clearly second best. Our Heisman a distant third. I'm a Bad Boy was fourth. Up next, the third in 22 minutes. There are no changes. Beef Winslow to the outside. Beef Winslow going in. And they're off. Mystification was out very quickly. Jeweled Shalala is flashing speed, and Paxawallop joins the party 3 deep. They're followed by Takes 3, racing on the inside of Moonlit Sonata. A guy named Joe is next to Beef Winslow, and a hard-to-handle Freeport Joe is at the back of the field. They move into the first turn. It's Mystification, pressed by Paxawallop. These two stride for stride and doing each other no favors. In the meantime, Jeweled Shalala settles in third. Moonlit Sonata is in fourth. Takes 3 at the rail, is 5th and some 7 lengths off the lead. They're followed by a guy named Joe. Beef Winslow second to last, and Freeport Joe is at the back of the field. Pax a Wallop and Tiago Pereira have opened up now. Suddenly 7 lengths in front as they head to the half-mile pole. Pax a Wallop, no turning back for him. He's in front by a lot. Jeweled Shalala is racing in the second spot. Then Moonlit Sonata inching up to take third. Takes 3 is down at the rail in fourth as they're starting to close a little bit on the ground here, held by Pax a Wallop. Just in behind this group, Mystification is losing ground, passed by Guy named Joe in the turquoise colors. And from the back of the field, Freeport Joe, they're at the top of the stretch. Paxawallop short lead. Jeweled Shalala pounces at the 8th pole. Takes 3, is just behind them. In the center of the course, Beef Winslow is finding his best stride, but it's Jeweled Shalala and Paxawallop not done. Here comes Beef Winslow, but he's running out of time. Jeweled Shalala, Paxawallop. Jeweled Shalala win it by just about half ahead. Paxawallop ultra game in defeat. Beef Winslow 3rd, and then it was takes 3. Players, thank you to Jason Levine for your support of Santa Anita Park and the horse racing community. Up next, the Santa Anita Oak. We're in the gate. And they're off in the Fasig-Tipton Santa Anita Oaks. And Vodka with a twist was off a bit slowly. A fast start for No Bad Beats. Silent Law. These two are sprinting at a quick tempo, and they're going at it into the first turn. Vodka with a twist hugs the rail and comes after the top pair. And Tenma is in and among horses in 4th, only 2 lengths off the lead. A 3-wide Madame Secretary is at the back of the field. So they move around the first turn, and it is No Bad Beats and Silent Law knocking heads 2 lengths in front of Tenma, who's 3rd. Down at the rail, Vodka with a twist, 2.5 off them, and Madame Secretary is at the back. Silent Law passes the 5/8 pole, intent on getting that lead to herself. It opens up 2 lengths. Vodka with a twist makes an early move after her in 2nd. No Bad Beats is back to being a joint 3rd with Tenma, 4 deep into the far turn. Outside of her, Madame Secretary. They're coming to the 3/8 pole. It's Silent Law, Vodka with a twist, traveling kindly alongside 2nd. And Tenma is now set down, still has 2 lengths to make up. It's a big gap to the 2 trailers suddenly as they come to the quarter pole. Madame Secretary, No Bad Beats has dropped out of it. It's Silent Law. Tenma on the outside, coming at her now. She's been wide throughout. Silent Law and Tenma coming to the 8th pole together. Silent Law digging in. Tenma alongside. 3 lengths back to Vodka with a twist. And Tenma gets the upper hand on Silent Law coming to the 16th pole. It's Tenma and Juan Hernandez in front by half a length. Now it's a full length and a half. And Tenma goes on to score in the Fasig-Tipton Santa Anita Oaks. Silent Law ran a big race in defeat. Vodka with a twist was 3rd. Don Julio, the official tequila partner of Santa Anita Park. And they're off in the Monrovia Stakes presented by Don Julio. And Queen Maxima had a very alert beginning. She's joined by Queen of the Mud. Down at the rail, Omaha Girl is moving up now, sprinting quickly to take that 2nd spot. Venganza is 4th, 4 lengths off the heavy favorite, the 2 trailers, and Janash. And Safa is at the back of the field. So it's Juan Hernandez and Queen Maxima showing the way, with Omaha Girl a half length back in 2nd. Then comes Queen of the Mud in 3rd, racing just in front of Venganza and the Pink Silks. Then Anjanash and Safa. Queen Maxima heads to the quarter pole, leading the way. Omaha Girl trying to re-engage in 2nd. Venganza is in the thick of it 3rd. Down on the inside, Queen of the Mud is next. Then Safa and Anjanash, they're at the top of the stretch. And Queen Maxima is asked to run, responds willingly, opens up 3. Venganza takes up the chase. Safa down the center of the course. They're in the final furlong, and it's Queen Maxima in a 1-horse race. She is absolutely brilliant. Queen Maxima strolls in the Monrovia. Queen of the Mud was 2nd best. Venganza in a photo for 3rd. California Bartenders Guild and the California brand ambassador for Tequila Don Julio. He is a proud advocate for hospitality workers and for his hometown of Los Angeles. He walks up. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Evening Jewel. Hot Girl Walk and Night with Lewis both break out of the gate beautifully, and that leaves Going Deep in the third spot through the early stages. Then comes Sunset Graze in 5 off the pace in 4th. In the Air Tonight is just inside of her. Big Soiree and Omen Joy. 7 lengths covers the field, and it's Night with Lewis coming through on the inside to take command. Opens up a length and a half. Racing in second is Going Deep. Hot Girl Walk in between those two. Down at the rail, In the Air Tonight is 4th, 3 lengths off the pace. Sunset Graze in the purple colors is next. Then Omen Joy and Big Soiree. 3 furlongs to go. And it is Night with Lewis, stablemate Going Deep. And in between those two, Hot Girl Walk, 3 of them across the track. Omen Joy is starting to gain some beautiful momentum along the inside. Sunset Graze is deepest of all. In the Air Tonight is in between those two. Wide open in the Evening Jewel as the field turns for home. It's Hot Girl Walk on the outside. Night with Lewis at the rail. Omen Joy splits rivals decisively, and here she comes under Hall of Famer Kent DeSormo, and it's Omen Joy with a 16th to go, pulling away with authority. Omen Joy has won the Evening Jewel. Sunset Grazing was second. Hot Girl Walk third. Going Deep finish 4th. And they're off. Very even start. Straker is flashing sharp early speed, but it's Ride Gold who comes away with the early lead. Ride Gold in front. Straker is now racing in second. Then it's a lineup of rivals, including Less is More, with the purple cap taking third. On the inside of Wildcat Danzing, Maria Tall Chief outside of that pair, Say Bella at the rail, and Tight Squeeze is racing in between those two. Stubborn is next, right on the inside of Enjoy, who's suddenly in front of that rival. That pair followed by Timekeeper's Charm and 3 more to Adverse Selection. Around the far turn, Straker and Ride Gold are head and head. Maria Tall Chief on the outside of Less is More, a joint third. Say Bella is down at the rail, a close-up 5th. Only 4 lengths off the lead. It's a gap of 5. Back to Wildcat Dancing there at the top of the stretch, and Ride Gold goes on strongly. Opens up 2 lengths. In tight at the rail is Say Bella. Down on the inside, it's Straker. And in the center of the course, here comes Tight Squeeze. And Tight Squeeze is motoring after Ride Gold. Ride Gold, Tight Squeeze is coming with every stride. Here's Tight Squeeze to get up. Nailing Ride Gold. A photo for third between Adverse Selection and Sabella. They're in the gate. And they're off. Clean start and a very fast one for Far Overloaded, who is immediately headed by several, including Western Freedom, who comes through. And there's the favorite, Beer Buzz. And Beer Buzz, with those blinkers, is in front as they run down the back stretch. Drop the Bit is racing in between horses. Down at the rail, Western Freedom now third. Far Overloaded is 4th. They are followed by Gemini Buzz. Horizon Wildcat is widest of all. Silver I Am and Outworker follow that group. Then Keating Thunder on the inside of Fix It Quick, passing a few rivals around the far turn. A gap of 4 to Falcon Wings, and Non-Domicile is the trailer. Midway on the far turn, Beer Buzz the leader. Horizon Wildcat is a half length back in second. It's 2 more to Western Freedom, angling out for the drive in third. And Fix It Quick continues to make headway there at the top of the stretch. And Beer Buzz has a 3-length lead with a furlong left to go. Here's Outworker coming fast, and on the outside, Western Freedom. Western Freedom has blown by Beer Buzz at the 16th pole. Back-to-back wins for Legacy Ranch. Western Freedom opens up with authority. Beer Buzz second. Outworker third. Fix It Quick was 4th. And they're off. A very nice start for Idaho Once, who will vie for the early lead. Here's Piper's Causeway. Where's the Loot with the yellow sleeves and blue silks is coming up now and battling for the lead. Just in behind this group, down at the rail, here's Sir Rocket. Sir Rocket all the way up to now Battle for Command. Uncle Chili is just behind these runners. Down on the inside comes Cousin Richie as they go past the half-mile pole. It's Piper's Causeway on the outside and Sir Rocket with Where's the Loot just outside of that pair moving down the hill. Just in behind them, Private Gem is close up. On the outside, Idaho Once is only 2.5 lengths or so off the lead. Down on the inside comes Uncle Chili with Chrome Flash racing in between horses. It's another two. Cousin Richie is now losing some ground. That group is followed by Catman Sue and Smiling Beast. They line up at the top of the stretch, and it's a wide open scramble. Piper's Causeway digging in. Down on the inside, Sir Rocket. Out in the center of the course, Private Gem is now finding his best ride, has to get to Idaho Once, and he's done it. Private Gem and Umberto Rispoli streaking past them all to win it going away. Idaho Once was a very good second. It ends up being a photo for third, and it went to Catman Sue in front of Smiling Beast. Loaded smoothly. And they're off in the Santa Anita Derby. And a very even break. Citizen Bull is flashing his natural speed, but he's got company immediately from Westwood, and Journalism backs off the top pair. Barnes will come from off the pace today, and Baeza is at the back of the field. So it is the long shot Westwood who gets to the front. Martin Garcia guides Citizen Bull to his outside now and will run in the two-path to the 6-furlong pole. Journalism is down at the rail, joined by Barnes. Barnes takes third as they move toward the back stretch, and Baeza is at the back. Just 3.5 lengths covers the field, and it is Westwood on even terms with Citizen Bull. They race together as one. 2.5 more lengths back to Barnes in third. Baeza is inching forward. He's getting into the race right away. And there goes Baeza after Citizen Bull, who has the lead past the 5/8 pole. Journalism is down at the rail. Extremely compact field. There's a half-mile left to go in the Santa Anita Derby, and it's the 2-year-old champ, Citizen Bull, and Martin Garcia just in front. Westwood is now backing out of it. Baeza running a big race. He's clearly in second. Journalism is hard-ridden at the back of the field, and the trailer is Barnes. They're coming to the quarter pole, and Citizen Bull's been in front throughout. Baeza up alongside the challenge, and now Journalism is revving up a clear-cut third. They're at the top of the stretch in the Santa Anita Derby, and here's Baeza. Baeza forges past Citizen Bull, and Journalism is kicking into high gear. Journalism and Baeza in a Santa Anita Derby showdown. It is Journalism just in front of Baeza. Write this down. Journalism is the best in the West as he wins the Santa Anita Derby. Baeza punched his ticket to Louisville. It was a long way back to Westwood and Citizen Bull. Renegade. And they're off. Shocking Gray wastes no time showing good speed. Nini Diamond is up close in the early going too, and they are joined by Thermal. So Thermal comes through on the inside to take a very narrow lead as they run down the hill. In second is Summer Lake. Nini Diamond now backs off the pace as a hard-to-handle Soho is very keen. Soho going right after the leaders. Monchica is down at the rail. This group is followed by Nada Center in mid-pack. Quick Kate is next in the red colors and white cap, some 6 or 7 lengths off the lead. Down at the rail comes Miss Roberts. Shocking Gray is just behind her. They're followed by Andiamo Ragazza, who's just in front of Quick Kate, and Edesia is at the back back of the field as they come to the quarter pole. Thermal and Summer Lake. Thermal scoots clear. Soho is now coming out of the pack to try and chase in second. They're coming to the 8th pole, and it's Thermal with a 4-length lead. Now a good run coming from Miss Roberts, and Miss Roberts takes aim at the front runner out in the center of the course. Miss Mandalay is running a good race, and from way back, Andiamo Ragazza, it is Miss Roberts taking the lead. Andiamo Ragazza flying. Miss Roberts, the favorite, gets there. Andiamo Ragazza was a flying second. Speaking of flying, Shocking Gray was on the scene late in front of Thermal. Post time in 23 minutes. All in. And they're off. The slightest of bobbles for Covey, who did recover immediately and will vie for the lead, along with Genius Jimmy, who takes that front. Red Cross Knight now second, and Covey is just behind them in third. Man Among Men fourth, 4 lengths off the lead, followed by Hard Headed. Down at the rail, Lamas in the orange colors. Another 2 back to City Exile. Ion Rye is next. The 2 trailers are Irish Prophet, and at the back of the field is Cathal, close to 15 lengths, maybe more, off front-running Genius Jimmy. So it's Genius Jimmy pressed by Red Cross Knight onto the backstretch, with Covey 2 off the pace in third. They're followed by Man Among Men, racing in between horses. Lamas is down at the rail, and Hard Headed is in between those 2. It's a gap of 4 back to City Exile, who races by himself. Irish Prophet is down along the inside. Eye on Rye is outside of that rival and past him now. And Cathal, still patiently handled, is the favorite as they move around the far turn. Genius Jimmy, Red Cross Knight, 1-2 the whole way. Behind them, Lamas is racing on the inside of Covey. That pair followed by Hard Headed. Man Among Men is next. Eye on Rye has to go very wide, trying to pick up some momentum. City Exile, Irish Prophet, and Cathal. They are at the top of the stretch. Lamas gets a hole through on the inside, and he's now coming after the leader, Genius Jimmy, whose lead is tenuous. City Exile is coming, and on the far outside, Ion Rye, and here is Cathal from absolutely nowhere, but it's Lamas and Kyle Frey close to home, and Lamas, a beautiful trip to victory. Second was City Exile. He was in a photo with Ion Rye, then Cathal in that group too, and fifth was either Irish Prophet or Genius Jimmy to complete this super high five.
Well, that was a fun day yesterday. 34,312 of you were in attendance here for Santa Anita Derby Day. And what a show it was. All 12 races, of course, were spectacular. But, of course, the highlight of the meet was the Santa Anita Derby. That was runner's race number 10. But, as they like to say, that's turf history. We've got to turn the page and focus on today's 12-race card, which features mandatory payouts in all the pools. And who better to showcase those 12 races and help us find some winners than noted clocker Toby Turrell. Toby, happy Sunday. Welcome to the seminar.
Great to be here, as always.
Now, there were 34,000 people here in attendance, but there were probably millions of people around the country and around the world watching the Grade 1 Santa Anita Derby. Let's relive history and watch the full replay. I want you to pay attention to two runners. You know who they are. Number 1, Journalism, and number 5, Baeza. We'll analyze the race after we listen to Frank Miramati describe the action.
Loaded smoothly. And they're off in the Santa Anita Derby. And a very even break. Citizen Bull is flashing his natural speed, but he's got company immediately from Westwood, and Journalism backs off the top pair. Barnes will come from off the pace today, and Baeza is at the back of the field. So it is the long shot Westwood who gets to the front. Martin Garcia guides Citizen Bull to his outside now, and will run in the two-path to the 6-furlong pole. Journalism is down at the rail, joined by Barnes. Barnes takes third as they move toward the backstretch, and Baeza is at the back. Just 3.5 lengths covers the field, and it is Westwood on even terms with Citizen Bull. They race together as one. 2.5 more lengths back to Barnes in third. Baeza is inching forward. He's getting into the race right away, and there goes Baeza after Citizen Bull, who has the lead past the 5/8 pole. Journalism is down at the rail. Extremely compact field. There's a half-mile left to go in the Santa Anita Derby, and it's the 2-year-old champ, Citizen Bull, and Martin Garcia just in front. Westwood is now backing out of it. Baeza running a big race. He's clearly in second. Journalism is hard-ridden at the back of the field, and the trailer is Barnes. They're coming to the quarter pole, and Citizen Bull's been in front throughout. Baeza up alongside the challenge, and now Journalism is revving up a clear-cut third. They're at the top of the stretch in the Santa Anita Derby, and here's Baeza. Baeza forges past Citizen Bull, and Journalism is kicking into high gear. Journalism and Baeza in a Santa Anita Derby showdown. It is Journalism just in front of Baeza. Write this down. Journalism is the best in the West.
Toby, great horses never disappointed. As we watch the gallop out, look at our friend Baeza gallop out well past Journalism in the clubhouse turn. Unfortunately, they don't pay the money on the gallop out. They pay it at the finish line, and Journalism stamped himself, Toby, as obviously the early Kentucky Derby favorite and likely post-time favorite, earning a Beyer speed figure, I should say, of 102. Watching that live and watching that again now in the replay, what are your thoughts?
Well, they not only don't pay for the gallop outs, but they don't pay any extra points on the gallop outs either. And sadly, right now, Baeza's on the outside looking in to get into the race. And I'll tell you what a big disappointment that would be if that horse does not get in after that huge effort. And I talked to my good friend Dottie and Gordo this morning, and just wanted to get a firsthand feeling of everything. And all she's thinking about is are they going to get in now? And that's just shouldn't be.
Well, I have the updated Kentucky Derby leaderboard points as of this morning. Right now, he is in position number 23 with 37.5 points. Of course, there will be some defections, but only the top 18 make it, because one additional invite goes to the European representative and one goes to the Japanese invitee as well. So he's got to finish in the top 18 of the number of runners that are going to be running come the first Saturday in May. Let's keep our fingers crossed that he makes the starting gate, because keep in mind, Toby, Baeza's performance visually was not only impressive, but he is a May foal. He is not even going to be 3 years old when they run the Kentucky Derby. Take nothing away from Journalism, but as you said before we came on air, you and I both know he was not fully cranked for that effort yesterday.
Well, you're pretty sharp, Tom, because I already heard this straight from the source, my source. And my good friend Dottie, I'll tell you, she's such a plethora of information. And she mentioned that right out of she outlined it all, just boom, 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 exactly what the situation is. And, on top of all this, to me, all the talk about this prep race, it's not quantity, it's quality. And that's what's going to win a horse race is quality, not quantity. And this was as tough a prep race as any race that will be run in the whole series. And something has to be done about this hair in the soup here.
And journalism did have trouble on the backside. You know, he did not have the perfect trip. He had to kind of get out of there, rally around, and run down a very game Baeza.
He ran a spectacular race, and I think he's still sitting on big races to come, even bigger than that. And that's the key to the whole situation right now. I think that his trainer, Michael McCarthy, was meticulous to have this horse just ready enough to win, knowing that all the big campaign is still to come. And I watched every move very closely, and I believe the whole pattern of his training was geared around a step by step by step, leaving the big steps ahead.
Now, Bob Baffert obviously was disappointed with the performances by both Citizen Bull and Barnes, but don't shed a tear for Bob quite yet. Rodriguez went back to New York to run in the Wood Memorial. Mike Smith in the saddle went gate to wire. Looked pretty impressive doing it.
Well, that's just a further testament to, I wouldn't trade places with anybody being out here watching Rodriguez, Baeza, and journalism train into the big race. And the fact that this race was downgraded the way it was just shouldn't have happened.
Fair enough. Well, Toby, let's take a quick timeout. Got a lot of ground to cover. We've got 12 races to look at today. But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early changes on today's Sunday's card here at the Great Race Place.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place. The track is fast, the turf is firm, the rail on the turf at 20 feet. Welcome to Fiesta de Santa Anita. Keep in mind, mandatory payouts in all pools today as we take a break before the Hollywood meet starts. So next weekend, no racing here at Santa Anita Park. In the first today, just a blinker note that's in your program. Early pick 5 starts with race 1. No changes in the second, beginning of the early pick 4. In the third, number 2, Happy Does, the jockey Giovanni Franco. 5, Love Candy is 1 pound over. Scratch number 7, Sea Dog. Race 3, take out the 7. In the fourth race, the blinker note. In race 5, number 1, O'Neill's Legacy, the jockey Epifanio Garcia, 2 pounds over. The middle pick 4 starts with the 6 today. Scratch 4, Empress Matilda. In the 7, scratch 4, Pursuit of Freedom. And number 5, Day and Age, 2 pounds over. Pick 6, mandatory payout, starts with the 7th. The 8th is the John Shear. Number 1, Encanto, will now be ridden by Antonio Fresu. Scratch 4, Triple Diamonds. Late pick 5 and all turf pick 3 start with the 8th. In the 9th race, just blinker notes. Late pick 4 starts with race 9. And number 11, Jenny's Tiz, will be 3 pounds over. Late pick 3 starts with the 10th. Scratch the also eligible 11, Fantastic. In the 11th, scratch number 5, Fowler Blue. $5 late double starts with race 11. And the mandatory payout, Super High 5 in the 12th. 8, Bronco Nagurski, the jockey Billy Anton Georgi. Scratch 11, Maxville. Enjoy your afternoon at the Great Race Place. 57 minutes to post for race 1. Back to Quigley's Corner we go. Toby Turrell is the special guest today, and he might be able to help you with this coast-to-coast pick 5 because it involves 3 races from Santa Anita, 7, 8, and 9 every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The coast-to-coast pick 5.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Toby Turrell. As you well know, you can find his work on a daily basis at CaseTheRace.com. He gives out his selections for every race as well as highlights important workouts on that particular day's card. It's our pleasure to have him here to, as you heard, not only walk us through today's 12-race card, but give us some opinion and insight into the coast-to-coast pick 5, which always pays well. Yesterday's payout in excess of $2,000. Yesterday, $2 pick 6, 17 winning tickets, each paid $7,000. Money to be made, Toby. So let's roll up our sleeves and do it again today. Kicking things off in race number 1, which begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5, as you heard Frank say. Mandatory payouts in all pools, pick 5s, pick 6s, super I5, etc. And in the popular 50-cent early pick 5, we kick it off in race 1, going 1 mile of turf course. The rails today are 20 feet. It's a starter optional claiming race. Field of 7, number 2, Mr. Leisure, the 2-1 morning line favorite, currently 7-5 on the tote board. Give us your thoughts on race 1, Toby.
Well, Mr. Leisure is going to be out on a lonely lead. At least that's the way it looks on paper. And it strictly comes down to whether he can get the distance or not. It's that simple. If he can, he'll go wire to wire. If he can't, I think the 5-horse Sketchy could be sitting in the catbird seat. A horse that his running lines, he comes out of the best races. King of Gosford, 3 back. And Jeweled Shalila, of course, winning here yesterday. This is a colt that is definitely good enough to win, but I just tried to look at the breeding a little bit, and if Mr. Leisure can stay relaxed on the lead, this sire has thrown a lot of deep-fused runners like Drosselmeyer and Funny Side and Flower Alley. And no, I'm not that smart. That's all from Daily Racing Forum's formulator. It's just a fingertip away.
It sure is. Toby, skeptics would say Mr. Leisure's already tried 2 turns on the main track back on October 15th, 2023. Didn't turn out very well. Do you expect maybe being on the turf course that he'll be able to extend his early speed?
Yeah, he's just a lot bigger, more mature horse, and he's been very relaxed in his workouts. So everything I can see tells me he'll relax, hopefully, and get it done here.
Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4. We're sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the main track for maiden optional claiming 3-year-old fillies. Field of 6, number 5, Nicolina from the Filda Model Barn is the even money line morning line favorite, if that's correct. Sorry about that. It was a long day and night last night. Nicolina is the one to beat. Who do you like in race 2, Toby?
Yeah, I'm going to right outside that filly, number 6, Icons Only, Carla Gaines' first-time starter. And it's almost the same premise as the first race. I ideally would like to have seen this race 6 furlongs max, but number 6 is very, very fast, this filly. She will be out there winging. I'm hoping she gets clear enough lead where she gets brave, can hold off the heavy favorite on the morning line, number 5, Nicolina. She is that race she debuted in was way above par. Velocity.
The winner was from the Mark Glatt Barn, probably one of the most impressive maiden winners of the meet.
Indeed. And Velocity ran like 5th or 6th and just won last weekend. That gives you an idea of the depth of that debut race she comes out of. So 6 and 5 here in race 2.
Let's turn the page. Take a look at race number 3. We're going 1 mile on the main track. It's a starter optional claiming type. It's a restricted starter optional claiming type. Scratch the 7. Sea Dog leaves us with a field of 7. Number 4, Nameless, is the 6-5 morning line favorite. Also take note of jockey change on number 2. Happy Does. Giovanni Franco now in the saddle. Talk to us about race 3, Toby.
Well, I think we have a very interesting long shot in this race. In number 3, Contrary Chieftain, just claimed by Javier Sierra, who, by the way, claimed a horse last Sunday and went right to the winner's circle named Cody Boy at a nice 7-1. So this guy might mean business, claiming a bunch of horses, live horses. This gelding, his win on March 2nd was very visually impressive. Love the fact that in his blowout, he looked full of himself and razor sharp. Off of that win, I think we're getting a very big number on this horse to hopefully upset the favorite. Number 4, Nameless, who really doesn't need much commentary when you've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races in a row, going for 6 in a row. How often do you hear that or say that? And, of course, Jeff Mullins and J.J. Hernandez going for 3 in a row with the horse.
Race number 4 is 1 mile of turf course for maiden claiming fillies and mares in for a $50,000 tag. We've got a number of 3-year-olds competing against older. The morning line favorite down on the bottom, number 8, Holly Go Quickly from the Michael McCarthy Barn, 9-5 on the morning line. If my voice is shot, imagine what Michael McCarthy's voice sounds like after last night's celebration.
A lot of celebrating last night on many, many fronts. And
Is Michael going to be celebrating after race 4?
does he celebrate? I'd have
No,
to
he's
see
going to
it.
celebrate after this race, race 4.
Well, if he does, it'll be very calm and reserved. But this, of course, a horse owned by Mr. Rapoli, so I'm sure he would love to win this race in particular. But getting Lasix today, this filly, wide open race, very hard for me to get a firm handle on it. The 6-horse Happy as a Clam, I think, is a very intriguing long shot for Simon Callahan on many fronts. Has had very legitimate excuses in her last few races. And you can just keep it very simple if you like. The favorite on the outside, Holly Go Quickly. This horse was only, I think, like a half a length behind that filly when they just met. And to me, Happy as a Clam ran a better race. So from a value standpoint, you've got it there on the 6-horse at 8-1. So 2 and 6. By the way, the 2-horse is training very sharp. I believe a couple of those works might be up there on XBTV.
Toby, let's talk about the breeding for Double Cappuccino, because one of my favorite sires is Gunrunner, and you're not surprised that Gunrunner has turned into a prolific sire.
Gunrunner was training at the fairgrounds when I was there in 2016.
Every day.
And I was working for Churchill Downs as an official there. And I made phone calls out here saying that this horse was going to beat Arrogate. And everybody thought I was absolutely crazy. He would have been 30-1 or roughly going into the Pegasus. But the year I was there, they had the equine herpes outbreak and he got quarantined and couldn't run in the race. But it just killed me because he would have been, like I said, he had not really hit the big time yet. He was a nice horse, but everything was still to come.
And talking about opinions, let's talk about polarizing owner Mike Rapoli. Mike Rapoli obviously has invested a lot of money in the game. And one thing that we know for sure is he understands the importance of California racing, and he puts his money where his mouth is by shipping runners like this out here. We can't underestimate enough the support he's giving us both individually here in the state as well as collectively for the industry.
Well, it's you used the right word there. It's all about collectively. And I don't run into anybody anywhere that disputes the fact that this is the best racetrack in the world, at least in this country. I haven't been around the world, but I've been around this country. And if you want to have the big show, you take it to the big stage, and there it is right behind us and right in front of us. And it does not get any better than this. So when you're going to try to lift the sport up, you got to lift it up with your strengths. And to me, the strength is right here at Santa Anita. And
2025 has been a good year already for Santa Anita. We've increased the purses twice. The attendance is up. Obviously, the field sizes are up. There's some blue sky ahead for Santa Anita.
Yeah, and things are beautiful today. The work tab this morning was great. Seeing a lot of 2-year-olds out there running around. And I heard some buzz on the way in. Some guys in the parking lot talking about some barns that still want to show up here now. So I guess Turf Paradise is closing.
Never underestimate the guys talking in the parking lot. Race number 5, we're sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track for fillies and mares. It's a restricted race in for a $5,000 tag. We've got a good field of 10 here. Number 3, Woodbine Way is the 5-2 Maury Line favorite. Mr. Garcia rides number 1, O'Neill's Legacy. That's a Northern California-based jockey, I should say and note. 10 ways you can go here. Toby, which way you going and why?
Going to the 3-horse in here, Woodbine Way. What a hard-knocking mare she is. The key is she's got the controlling speed in my estimation. She's also got the heart. What she did 2 races back when she dug in defeat after losing the lead showed me she was sharp, still has it. She had a bad start last time and did not have an ideal trip at all on the lead. I think today she gets that ideal trip on the lead. Makes all the difference in the world. And the 6-horse Roses Are Blue. The flip side is true with this horse. This horse will be coming from off the pace. And another 7-year-old, by the way, hard-knocking horse. So if some things melt down, as they say, look for the 6-horse maybe to come running late.
On today's 12 race card in race number 6, we do offer a 50-cent middle pick 4, and we kick off that wager coming down the hillside turf course, 6.5 furlongs in the downhill turf course. It's an allowance optional claiming race for 3-year-old fillies, non-winners of 1 other than 1 scratch. Scratch the 4 leaves us with a field of 6. Number 3, Shillified from the Patty Gallagher barn is 9-5 on the Maury Line. Talk to us about race 6, Toby.
Well, Shillified ran absolutely giant in her last race. It's very rare that I will make a notation that a horse actually made 3 moves. It's rare to see 2 moves. We saw that from journalism. He might have made 3 yesterday. But this filly ran spectacular last time out. I know she can run. Way back to, by the way, the last time J.J. Hernandez rode her was in her maiden debut win. And I think that's very key here, too, this J.J. getting back on the filly. But if she does anything at all like she did in her last race, she'll win. The X factor is, of course, the 5. And right now, with Mark Glatz holding that hot hand, remaining to hold that hot hand, even into today's races, she lost all chance in her local debut with a slow start, got rank. And she's really made the sprint. She's a little dainty filly, little compact, shorter striding filly, and this distance will help her, as will her jockey, Mr. Frezu. So not going to get too fancy in here, 3 and 5.
Race number 7 begins the $2 pick 6 with a mandatory payout. It's 6 furlongs in the main track for maiden special weights. Scratch the original morning line favorite, number 4, Pursuit of Freedom, has been declared out of the race. Number 8, Pacific Quest, is a first-time gelding. Likely favoritism going to one of the 3-year-olds in the field. Number 3, Goal Oriented, a first-time starter from the Bob Baffert barn. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Toby, you wanted to show a workout courtesy of our friends at firsttv.com. This was a team gate workout for this first-time starter back on March 16th. That is him on the outside. Why do you want to show this workout, Toby?
Well, because of the fact that right there he immediately broke very well. The rider took a big hold of this horse.
And look at the final time, by the way, in case there's any question as to how fast they're going.
Yeah, and it doesn't end there either, because that's just the half-mile final time. If you look at the 5/8 quasi gallop out time, it gets even stronger and bolder. But the key for me, this is a gigantic horse. I really can't believe the speed that I'm seeing here in this gate workout. And when I saw this speed to go along with the imposing size and the grand scope this horse has, I said, that's, he's got it all. But that scratch is very, very pivotal with Pursuit of Freedom coming out. I was hoping that this horse would lay third, make that big kick that he's making right here, and just go ahead and swoop by and so forth. It might not be that easy now with a lot of the speed coming out of the race. But with that said, the talent and enough speed are here on the 4-horse, I believe, or on the 3, sorry, goal-oriented. But the 4-horse coming out is going to allow the other 2 speed horses a much better chance. And that's number 6, Varney, and the 1-horse, who's a first-time starter, named Sierra Silver, a colt that my uncle bought for these connections. Has got a lot of speed from the rails. So it's going to be a fun race for me to watch and everybody to sort out. Hopefully we're on the winner here, and hopefully the winner is goal-oriented today.
Bob Baffert trains 3 of the 7 runners running in race number 7. Toby has given them out in order 1, 2, 3. Toby, let's talk about your family and your uncle for a minute. You come from the long lineage of the Baedeker family. Of course, your uncle is Mr. B, Rick Baedeker, but your grandfather was kind of notorious for being one of the pioneers here in Southern California. Let's pay homage to him while we have a minute.
And well, we should. He simplified the game in every aspect. I was with him my whole childhood up until I left for college, and we cased this whole grandstand. It doesn't matter with that end at the top or the Turf Club director's room. He had that charm for everybody here. He loved the game. He knew everybody from the top down to myself and every other $2 better. And he is what horse racing was all about, and everybody loved him. He and his brother Jack Baedeker, my great uncle, they never missed one of the big events or big parties anywhere in the game. Charlie Whittingham, Ben Jones, Citation. I heard all the stories my whole life, and that's why I'm just so blessed just to be sitting here.
And we're blessed to have you be sitting here, Toby. Let's turn the page. And speaking about icons and legends, race number 8 is our feature race on today's card. It's the John Shear Stakes, $100,000 coming down the Hillside Turf Course. It's for 3-year-olds. Also, race 8 begins both the 50-cent late pick 5 as well as the $3 all turf pick 3 with a 15% takeout. Scratch the 4, Triple Diamonds, number 1. Encanto will now be ridden by Antonio Fresu, number 2. Artislas is the 2-1 morning line favorite. We'll watch the workout for Artislas in just one moment. But I've got a little note here that Amy Zimmerman, certainly one of our bosses, put together, reflecting back on the life and the career of John Scheer. Just when I say the name John Scheer, what comes to your mind, Toby?
Paddock.
Exactly. But also, he kind of, basically almost sacrificed his life for the life of a 5-year-old little girl that was in the paddock one afternoon. That's been well documented and well seen by many people. That was an act of courage and an act of selfishness that I'm not sure many people his age would do.
Well, you're talking about a generation there. You're talking about my grandfather and you're talking about him. They came from that old school generation, and they were so thankful to be out here. And I spoke to John at the paddock. I saw him every day, countless times. And the guy was never, he was always just approachable, just would do anything to try to help you. Just a joy to be around. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact he was just happy to be here.
John passed away at the ripe old age of 102 years old in December of 2023. He worked at Anita for 60 years of those 102 years. And one thing you might not know, he was a guest on my seminar way back when. Believe it or not, Sirhan Sirhan actually worked for John Scheer back on the backside when John was working back there on the backside. So certainly John Scheer lived a very full and fruitful life. And we remember his memory and honor today in race number 8. And Artislas, who I spoke about, Toby, is the 2-1 morning line favorite. You wanted to show a workout for Artislas. This was a team drill back on March 28th. That is Artislas down on the inside.
Yeah, this is key because this horse is coming off of a layoff now. And the question is he ready to go off of a 3-month layoff? Well, take a look at the rider here and look at the bridle of this horse, and hopefully it gives you the answer because he just cannot hold this horse on the ground. This is at the start of the work, coming up to the quarter pole, and if you keep on watching, like we will, it's not going to change. He stays under this giant hold, just full of himself, and the outside horse is going to be pressured to just stay with this horse on the rail all the way to the wire and all the way out to the bottom. So this is everything you want to see in a workout. It's the reserved energy, it's the poise, it's the attitude, it's the behavior of just showing that you're full of yourself, full of run, and you have the run in reserve. And
it's also an indication that time really does not matter because it's 102 and change. But as you often like to say, Toby, and many other noted clockers, it's the way they do it that's most important.
That's why we're out there. No question. I mean, that's why we're out there is to get the visual side of things. And you just saw it right there. Now, this horse, speaking of great records, he was disqualified, or he would be 4 wins out of 5 starts against nice company every time. So he's a runner. And like I said, the big question is he ready? That workout hopefully says yes. And if he's ready, I just think he'll win. The connections, by the way, are sky high. A very good friend of mine, Mike Pender, who went into the bloodstock side of the business, bought this horse. He bought Queen of Maxima that won yesterday. And these connections holding a very hot hand coming into today, trying to sweep their divisions of the stakes. My second choice in the race will be the second choice on the line, and that's Cali Cat. If you look back, Artislas already beat Cali Cat pretty handily. So we'll see. 2 and 5 here.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at race number 9, Toby. Take a look at this field size. A field of 11, which kicks off the 50-cent late pick 4. We're going 6 furlongs in the main track. Maiden Claiming Calbred's in for a $50,000 tag. Number 11, Jenny's Tiz, first time gelding, and one of the 3-year-olds again running against older. Number 9, Let Me In from the Mark Latt barn, 3-2 on the morning line. How'd you see race 9?
I like the 5-horse in here, and by the way, a 5-year-old maiden, but that also plays into a lot of the reasons why I like this gelding today. He's a big, oversized, heavy horse, and that's why you see the abbreviated races and the lack of races up to this age. But the key is, the last time he ran, the racetrack will be very different today. That was off of the next day after it rained. The track, as you noted, last time I was on, has changed quite a bit. in recent weeks. And I think this horse is going to love the surface today that he'll get as opposed to that last race. And by the way, he ran very well in the last race there on March 7th. The favorite, Let Me In, again, doesn't need a lot of introductions. Trained by Mark Blatt, probably deserves to be the favorite. Definitely the horse to beat in my eyes, but I think the 5 can beat him today.
Race number 10 begins at $3 late pick 3 with a reduced 15% takeout, and we begin that wager in race 10 going 1 mile on the turf course. Starter optional claiming type. Scratch the also eligible number 11, Fantastic, will not compete. Number 2, Yakolev, is the 2-1 morning line favorite. First off the claim for trainer Hector Palma. Give us your thoughts on race 10, Toby.
This is a very good betting race, and of course, the big full field is going to guarantee it. But the 4 horse in here, Hurricane Cloud, I'm very, very intrigued with. For Richard Baltus. Speaking of hot hands, Tiago Pereira, the jockey, boy, every time you turn around and you see a big win, a long shot win, stake win yesterday, this guy's hot, and I think he's going to get the winning trip on this 4 horse Hurricane Cloud, who has had many, many excuses in several of his races, too many to even comment on. But today the blinkers are going back on, and if he turns it on like he has in the past, he's got a huge turn of foot, and that turn of foot could blow by and win this race. Hopefully it happens. The 6 horse Busy Channel, another veteran runner. I think he is 8 or 9. He's 9 years old, this horse. But boy, is he training like a young horse. And I think he's going to run a big, big race too. He'll be a decent price. But 4 and 6 will be the way I wind up in here. Race
number 11 begins the $5 late daily double, also with a reduced 15% takeout. We're going a mile and 16th on the main track. Allowance optional claiming types. 9 winners of 1 other than. The theme of full fields continues. There is 1 scratch. Scratch the 5, Fowler Blue, leaves us with a field of 9. Number 4, Canada Gate from the John Sadler Barn, is the 3-1 morning line favorite. 9 ways you can go here, Toby. Which way are you going and why?
Well, I'm going to Canada Gate because of his last workout. It's pretty much that simple. His last workout is the workout I needed to see. He tightened up. He showed that he's race ready. He's sharp. And he went racehorse time in 59 flat. So he's got the form. That's why he's the favorite. He's got the proven back class, if you will, to some extent. I don't have a strong feel for this race, but I have to go with him on top. The 9 horse Brazenly scratched yesterday to run in this race. And I'll tell you what, Brazenly ran another spectacular race last time out. When I have bold capitals in the right places with the right moves, 7 wide, etc., I get pretty excited to watch a horse at 10-1, like perhaps the 9 horse Brazenly. And there he is again. Tiago Pereira will ride this horse.
We close out San Anita Derby weekend in race number 12, offering $1 super high 5 wagering with mandatory payouts. And race 12, we're going 1 mile on the turf course for $25,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 races lifetime. Scratch the 11, Maxville. Take note to jockey number 8, Bronco Nagurski, is William Anton Georgi. Number 3, Hurricane Way from the Dan Blacker Barn, is the 5-2 morning line favorite. Give us a winner to close out the weekend, Toby.
Well, it's going to be the favorite, but we need that winner because this is the end of our first round here at Santa Anita. So we start the Hollywood meet coming up, but this Hurricane Way has been very consistent of late. Lost all chance in his last race when he literally stood when the gates opened. Very slow start. Then he only got beat 4 lengths. So you can improve that running line quite a bit. I think today he makes the last move, the winning one with Hector Berrios. Great turf rider in his own right. Big Juanito is the long shot for me. He has looked razor sharp in the last few works and the last few weeks here over the track. So that's the way we close it, 3-7.
Sounds good, Toby. Now, as Toby mentioned, we're going to take a brief break here at Santa Anita. We're not going to race next week. We resume racing on Friday, April 18th. That'll begin our spring summer meet, and we race until mid-June. But no racing next week here, no live racing, I should say, here at Santa Anita. One more wager to consider before we go. That's the $1 coast-to-coast pick 5. You heard Frank talk about it before we came back on air to analyze the races. $1 minimum, low 15% takeout, 5 races to basically handicap. Beginning with Gulfstream Park, race number 8 at 1:16 p.m. Pacific time. You can see the final 3 races of that wager are right here at the Great Race Place. Toby, thanks so much for the time and insight today. Enjoy the brief break, and good luck with all your selections today.
Sounds good.
Thanks to all of you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Welcome to Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place. Track is fast, turf is firm, rail on the turf at 20 feet. The track conditions are brought to you by John Deere. In the first, started the early pick 5. No scratches or jockey changes. No changes in the second, first leg of the early pick 4. In the third, number 2, Happy Does, the jockey Giovanni Franco. 5, Love Candy, 1 pound over. Scratch number 7, Sea Dog. Race 3, scratch number 7. Good note in the fourth, the 5th race, number 1, O'Neill's Legacy, the jockey Epifanio Garcia. Epifanio Garcia rides number 1, 2 pounds over. Middle pick 4 offered on this big card today. Starts with the 6, scratch 4, Empress Matilda. In the 7, scratch 4, Pursuit of Freedom. Note that 5 Day and Age is 2 pounds over. Pick 6 starts with race 7. Mandatory payouts in all pools. 8th race 1, Encanto, make the jockey Antonio Fresu. Scratch 4, Triple Diamonds. $3 all turf pick 3 and mandatory payout late pick 5. 9th race starts to late pick 4, number 11, Jenny's Tiz. 3 pounds over. In the 10, scratch 11, Fantastic, started the $3 late pick 3. In the 11, scratch number 5, Fowler Blue, $5 late double wagering offered on the 11th. In the 12th, 8, Bronco Nagurski, the jockey William Anton Georgi, scratch 11, Maxville. Those are the changes for this program. Mandatory payouts at all pools. We are not running next weekend. This is the break before the Hollywood beat resumes. Post time for race 1 in 27 minutes. The Coast to Coast Pick 5 is offered Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, combining races from Gulfstream Park and Santa Anita Park. Coast to Coast Pick 5 has had some extraordinary payouts of late, and it starts today with Gulfstream's 8th. Enjoy your afternoon at the Great Race Place.
Be a smarter better with First TV, the best horses. With thousands of exclusive morning workouts. All at your fingertips and delivered right into your inbox. Everything you need to be informed. Be smart. Bet smart. With First TV.